Louisiana Beer Reviews looks at Tyskie Gronie. Tyskie Gronie. The original Tyskie is an SABMiller product. It's brewed in Poland. It says on the bottle 5.3% alcohol. On the SABMiller website they're saying 5.5, so there could be some variation there. It says Tyskie was founded in 1629, and the modern brewery was really formed in 1999 with a sort of combination of 3 other Polish breweries. It's won awards: the Grand Prix in München 2005, London 2002. The Brewing Industry International Awards. Alright, premium lager beer. And it says best before April 30th, 2015. So we're almost 2 months out of date. I bought this at Flair Beverages in Manhattan on 9th Avenue. A couple of weeks ago when Sharif was doing some beer reviews with me in the Bronx, I was saying 9th Street. He was saying 9th Street, that must be in lower Manhattan. And I realized later I was saying it wrong. It was 9th Avenue. And I said, I'm sorry. He said, I knew something was wrong. Alright, 9th Avenue is not very long. It's at the very tip top of Manhattan. And the Flair Beverages is right next to this University Bridge, and you cross the bridge and it takes you right into the Bronx. So shame on you, Flair Beverages, for letting this thing stay on the shelf out of date. I praise you for your enormous and incredible beer selection, but I have to get on your case for that. And the Miller people are supposed to make sure their stuff's not out of date. The SABMiller people, okay? Some fairly good amount of little white specks. This is not super filtered. It's filtered, but not super filtered. So it's mostly clear, okay? It's quite bubbly. I have a Heineken glass like I did with a couple of other ones. I don't have a Tyskie glass. So when they founded this company in 1629 in the Kingdom of Poland, I'm pretty sure it was not producing this. Because these Pilsner style beers, light-bodied lager beers really didn't come into play until 1842 with Pilsner Urquell. And then that was such a huge hit, everybody started copying it. Sort of like Miller Lite 1975, Light by Miller, everybody started copying it. And so I don't know what the original Tyskie was like. It's probably made with corn because it smells like it. It smells kind of like that. Similar to Stella Artois, which is made with water, barley malt, hops, yeast, and corn, or as they say in Europe, maize. Sweet, a little bit grainy, very mild, mellow aroma. And I believe this is the top beer in Poland. Certainly, almost all of these Euro lagers, whether they're adjunct lagers or not, have a much more pronounced hop presence, hop bitterness, hop experience than your American adjunct lagers. There's biscuity barley malt. There's the pleasant hop. It's mild, right? But it's pleasant. It's really enjoyable. And I guess most of those hops are coming from your Hallertau region of Bavaria. The mouthfeel is light, but light to medium. It's high light, close to medium, or low medium, somewhere in there. A little bit slick, could be because of age, but does not in any way taste old or off. Of course, you'd want to have it fresh, and then it really optimally you'd want to have it on draft, unpasteurized, but that's probably not going to happen outside of Central Europe. East Central Europe. The finish is crisp, clean, very refreshing, and highly enjoyable. I don't know how well they were doing it during the communist days from 1945 until 1990. I know that when they privatized it, SABMiller was able to come in there and swoop it up eventually. So did a lot of other foreign companies like Carlsberg, Heineken, and those other guys. Anheuser-Busch InBev. But they had a lot more ability to do it correctly. The communists, so bumbling. I know the National Socialists from Germany went in and took over Poland. Of course, the Soviet Union, the Soviet Socialists took over Eastern Poland, never gave it back, by the way. Still controlled by the White Russians today and the Ukrainians. But they said the Germans were brewing beer in that brewery, probably just telling them, brew this beer for us. I can see why it's won awards. It's really enjoyable. It's like really enjoyable. It's better than the Lek, I think. The Lek was sort of dull. Nothing bad about it. But this one has a lot more bitter character and it's got sufficient maltiness. They don't give the ingredients. Kompania Piwowarska Poznan, formerly Posen, Germany. But it hasn't been called Posen, Germany since 1945, when the Germans were expelled from that area. Anyway, regardless who owns, whether it's government owned or privately owned or it's German owned or Polish owned, the major question is how is it, and it's very good. I'm going to give it, I think I'd have to go with an A-. It's at the lower end of excellent, but there's no doubt this thing is excellent. I can see why it's the #1 beer in Poland. It has a lot of character. The enjoyment factor is super duper. The price wasn't too bad, so I don't see how you can go wrong with it. I'd like to try the other Tyskie variants. If you get on their website, it's pretty extensive. SABMiller, their websites for their foreign beers, the American websites are sort of sketchy, like with Ice House and Mickey's, there's nothing there. But for their foreign, really, but those kind of marginal brands, but like for their blockbuster brands like Pilsner Urquell and this one, they're very extensive websites with videos and long drawn out explanations of their brewing process and ingredients and all that, so it's quite interesting. So, laissez-les bon temps relais, an excellent beer, and I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans!